Alrighty, what's going on everyone? So, as you can see, made a fair bit of progress on the old XK. We've got most of the front floor pan in. Still a few things we need to do to it, obviously, but it's coming along nicely. So, we've got most of the front floor pan in here. We've got the whole front end pretty well welded in. We've got to build up a patch plate and set up what we're doing there with the rear to slide it in. Don't worry, we will be reinforcing it with box tube the whole way down once we've built the rest of it. This whole rear end has to come out basically from below the parcel shelf so we can put the FG rear end in here. We need to do some adjustments on the dashboard so that we can fit the steering wheel and all those goodies up inside there. But it's coming along pretty damn nicely. So what we'll do is now, with the magic of editing, I'll take off all the front panels and you'll see what the whole car looks like in a second, what we've done and what progress we've made. So with the magic of editing, you can see the whole front end of the car. It's now disassembled so you can have a look. We've basically capped off the end of the body and reinforced along the way and welded in between, as well as along the inside as well. Welded all the reinforcement underneath the frame there up the top. So basically underneath all this here, there's a piece of box tube that runs the whole way across. It's welded to the original car frame and welded to the new front end. Same with a few supports down there, they're all tied in. We've still got to tie just a couple in just down here. As you can see, it's not quite welded there, but that's how it is. We've got the front skid plate in there for the seal. We've got to make a section so that all the water flows down through the factory drain point, runs down out through the factory drain here. Water's already flowing out where it's supposed to, but at the moment, you know, it's not going from the top, it's getting into this whole section here, and we want to avoid that. So yeah, we've got the whole front end trimmed back. We've got to lop off the front of the chassis rails on either side there. Still got to straighten out that front left one a bit, which is going to be a little bit of fun. This right one's bang on, basically cut them off at that mark there on either side, and the older front end here where we removed it from the subframe should go straight back in between there and weld all up. So as you can see, the motor's in, gearbox is in, tail shaft is in, that's the whole pedal assembly, the wiring loom, the brakes for the front end, everything like that is in there at the moment. Once we get the rear end in, we just have to plumb fuel line and brake lines, run the original wiring loom and figure out what was airbag sensors and remove all of them, figure out what was the light loom, all that sort of stuff, and hook it all up so that we can run the factory old school tail lights off the new loom, and we'll be redoing them with LEDs as well. So all the tail lights will look like factory, but you know, LED fittings in them. The outside will be the indicator, the inside will be your tail light, reverse lights nice and bright. We're still going to try to keep the center spout fuel nozzle, which is going to take a little bit of fabrication for a downpipe to fit with the original tank. And yeah, just fun of body repair and fixing up all the rot that it got from sitting for around 20 years. But the whole goal is that we'll be cutting everything apart. Once we've got the front end in and the rear end in, we'll be cutting all this rocker off completely because it's just rotten and fucking disgusting. We'll be running box tube reinforcement along the whole thing, sleeving it in the front end there where you can see the reinforcement, the chassis frame, sleeving it in there, and the same with the rear end, so it's all reinforced in one part. Then also tie in the floor pan, the factory rockers, everything like that, and then we're just going to make our own, skin our own rockers, do everything like that,